Okay, can you hear me well? Yeah, okay. So first of all, thank you for hosting the event and inviting me to speak. My name is Oded Meyraz and I'm a Director of Technical Sales at Kaymera Technologies, a leading player, the leader in mobile security. We sell to governments and to large enterprises. We work, for example, with Barclays Bank in the UK. And the problem that we solve is basically related to mobile security. Now, during this conference, for example, I noticed that every once in a while, each one of you is taking a look at his mobile device, right? We all do that. We message, we respond to emails, we enter websites. And my question is, how many of you have access to corporate information from your mobile device? And I'm sure that some of you, if not most of you, do have access at least to your emails. And large corporates today also provide you with access to Salesforce applications, Active Directory, the entire suite of Office 365, for example. So we have a lot of access from a device that is basically not protected. We are totally dependent on the iOS environment or the Android environment in securing our mobile device that has access to the company's IT environment, including the servers and the database. For example, I can send an email from my mobile device to the IT manager with an infected PDF. And if an attacker managed to access my device, he can do that from my device and sending a malicious email to the CEO, to the CEO of the device, okay? So the main problem is that the risk is too high. There are too many risks, too many threats. For example, there are malicious applications that can basically steal all your private data. There are Trojan horses that provides the attacker with complete control over your device, not just specific permissions. There are communication interception tools that can listen to your voice calls and messages and read your messages, and physical data extraction tools like this one. And every time you connect your device to a USB port, you never know what sits on the other edge of the USB cable. All these chargers at the airport, do you really know if your device is not now connected to a physical extraction tool like this one that can overcome your PIN code and in a few minutes steal all your private data and your corporate data? This is an example of an homemade IMSI catcher. IMSI catchers are tactical interception tools. Let's say that the attacker can sit right here at the street in his car, and he can intercept all the communication, all the mobile communication that is being initiated by any of you. Even when you are using 3G and 4G, there are ways to downgrade you, for example, to 2G, and there are systems that can intercept 3G and 4G network. So they can listen to your voice call, they can read your text messages, they can block you from receiving text messages and send text messages in your name, and they can also manipulate your data connection for infecting your device with Trojan horses. This is an example from January this year, an application that you could download from the Google Play Store, the official store of Google. And this is basically a ransomware. You would download this application, it would steal all your private data and corporate data, and then you would see this message: you need to pay us, otherwise we will sell portion of your private information and corporate information, by the way, in black market every 30 minutes. And you can imagine that a lot of people has paid. A lot of people think that iOS is more secured. This is not necessarily true. This is an example of the Pokemon Go game that was extremely popular last year. It was downloaded by hundreds of millions of people. And actually, when the application was distributed in the iOS App Store, the vendor of the application got access to your Gmail account, and he could read your Gmail emails and send emails from your Gmail account as if it was you. Okay? And this is a very popular game. What about all the smaller applications that no one really cover and no one really monitor regarding what kind of access they have for our devices? So our solution in Kaymera is that we cannot escape mobility. It's not like we're going to leave our mobile devices behind and stop using them. So we need to face the fact that mobility will remain. And we need to allow BYOD because we want to use our own devices. BYOD is bring your own device policies. And the idea is that we have to stay protected. Okay, if someone steals my contacts, he can then use it for phishing schemes. He can then send ransomware emails like we saw only 2 weeks ago. And we do that by realizing that one size does not fit all. Some organizations, like governmental agencies or other corporates that look for the highest level of protection, they will require secure devices that actually provides you with military-grade protection. Other organizations will use MDM, mobile device management applications, and we will provide them with our application that also provides you with security capabilities. And the last type of organizations are organizations that don't use anything today, and we can still protect these organizations with our application. So this is our secure device. It is based on our secured operating system that is based on Android. Okay, Android is an open source platform, so you can bring an Android device. We support, for example, the Google Pixel and Nexus devices. So this is my private device. It's a Google Pixel device. And we burn it, we flash it with our secured operating system, which basically allows us to monitor the lowest level of the operating system. The other solution is an app-based solution that you can download from the App Store or the Google Play Store. And because we sell to organizations, we also have a command and control center that lets the IT manager to monitor and control the entire mobile security solution for all users in the organization. And it can be implemented either in the cloud by using Kaymera's cloud or on-premise if the user wants to be 100% in control. In the secure device, we have 4 layers of protection. The first one is encryption. All your private and corporate data is fully encrypted with AES 256 bits. In addition, every call that you make is end-to-end encrypted. So this is an end-to-end encrypted call. You can see the green background, which automatically notifies you that this is a secure call, and you can freely speak to your other party about secured items, okay? In addition, if the other party does not use Kaymera, I can still have a secure call. Let's say that I'm traveling to Russia, and I think that someone in Russia might try to intercept my calls. My corporate has a branch in Moscow, and I need to travel to Moscow, and I fear that someone might try to intercept my call. The call will be fully encrypted from Russia to Italy. We then unencrypt the call in the Kaymera server, and within Italy, the call will not be encrypted. So I can call non-Kaymera users and still be secured. If someone is targeting me, he will not be able to listen to my voice calls, and he will not be able to read my text messages. Now, because we install our own secured operating system, we control every aspect of the operating system, including the booting process, the kernel level, and the application level. So we have an internal firewall that monitors anything that tries to execute a script or a code in our operating system. The third layer, and people are usually amazed when they see this screen, we call it the prevention layer. And this is an example of the permissions that Uber is asking when you download and install Uber. I assume that you are familiar with Uber. It's very popular in the UK and in the US. I think that in Italy it's less popular. But for the for the example purposes, you can see that Uber asks for network access, location information, and to receive SMS, which it actually requires for you to order a taxi. The rest of the permissions, to activate your camera, to make phone calls in your name, to read your contacts, to read your SMS messages, to activate your microphone, so they can activate your microphone and record anything in the area, and to send SMS messages from your device. So they require a long list of permissions. Most of them are not actually required for the normal operation of the application. So what we in Kaymera do is that we allow only the specific permissions that are actually required, and the rest of the permissions are being spoofed. And spoofing means that we feed the application with fake information. Every time Uber tries to steal my contacts, it will get an empty list of contacts. If it tries to activate my microphone and record anything in the area, it will get white noise. If it tries to take a picture, it will get a black picture. This way I can install any application that I want from the Google Play Store and still be safe. None of the malicious applications or just applications that require too many permissions will get access to my private data and to my corporate data. In addition, we have a detection layer. So every time your device is being attacked, our device is capable of detecting the attack in real time and alerting you. For example, let's say that you are at your hotel and you connect to the Wi-Fi network, and someone is trying to access your device through the Wi-Fi network. Okay, it runs different types of attacking schemes through Wi-Fi. We can detect this attack and alert you, and obviously you will not connect your laptop to the same Wi-Fi network. So we can protect not only your mobile device, but also affect your entire operation. So I mentioned that our solution is based on a hardened operating system that provides us the ability to protect your device in a military-grade level. We provide you with application security. You can download any application that you want and still be secured. We provide you with ultimate usability. You can use high-end, off-the-shelf devices. The Google Pixel was released to market only a few months ago, and it is head-to-head with the Galaxy S8, for example, and LG G6. And by many reviews, it's still considered as one of the best smartphones in the world, including the iPhone 7, when you compare it to the iPhone 7. We provide you with secure communication that includes end-to-end encrypted calls, secured messaging, including encrypted group messaging and file sharing, and always-on VPN. So your IT manager can decide which applications will be tunneled through the VPN every time they are connected. And we also have a feature of personal security. So if someone is physically attacking you, let's say with a gun, and he takes your mobile device and now he asks for your passcode, you can provide him with our panic mode passcode. He will be able to log into your device, but all your private information will be hidden and encrypted. At the same time, the device will take picture from both cameras and will send this information, video, stills, and location information to the IT manager. So he can decide how he wants to respond. He can wipe the device, he can call the cops, and so on. In addition, we have an application that you can download from the Android Play Store or the Google or the iOS App Store. And the idea behind the application, applications can never be as secured as a fully encrypted operating system. Applications are sandboxed in the operating system, and therefore they have limited access. And there is an approach that means that let's protect all our employees, for example, by activating the VPN for all employees. Even when they are at home, even when they are connected to the company's Wi-Fi, the VPN is always on, with no need. What we do is that we take into consideration different parameters, like the user profile, his location, what type of threat does he faces, and what type of data access does he have from his mobile device to the organization data. Only then we select what type of mitigation plan we want to run on his device. We can detect many types of attacks, including network-related attacks like man-in-the-middle attacks, rogue access points, malicious certificates. We can also detect if the device is jailbroken or rooted, which usually means that your device is infected with a Trojan. By the way, you know that people think that iOS is more secure, but if you take into consideration that every iOS until today was rooted or jailbroken, okay, you can imagine that attackers can also root or jailbreak the device and infect it with a Trojan horse. And actually, because Android has many variants, you have the Galaxy ROM and you have the LG ROM, so there are many types of Androids actually. The attacker needs to adapt his Trojan for every type of operating system. In iOS, it could be, it's actually much easier because you need one good Trojan horse and infection vector, and you can infect any iOS-based device. In addition, we scan all the applications that you have on your device to see if there are any malwares installed. And we search for behavioral anomalies, again, to search for Trojans. We then take into consideration the user profile, his location, what type of data access does he have, and the type of threat that we have identified, and mitigate the threat either by integrating with an existing implementation of a mobile device management solution, like Mobile Iron or AirWatch, or you can use our mobile device management capabilities to mitigate it on the device itself. If you haven't implemented an MDM solution, what we can do is that we can alert the user on the device level and disconnect him from every corporate resources that he has access to. For example, because he has a malware on his device, he will not be able to access his email. Because this malware can infect the entire organization through the email access. In addition, we also have an application that you can download from the iOS App Store, and that will provide you with full secure communication with end-to-end encryption, just like the one that we have in the secure device. Another feature that we have is a geofencing capability. So let's say that one of your devices is infected with a Trojan horse or a malware. Basically, it means that the attacker can record this entire session. What we can do is to disable key functions of your mobile device based on your location. So let's say that you entered the meeting room. Instead of leaving your mobile device outside of the meeting room, we can do that with our application. And we can also integrate our solution with your corporate badging system. So every time a user, an employee enters the building, some key features of his mobile device will be limited. Let's take an example. So here we have an example of an executive that travels to China. Because of the Great Chinese Firewall, there is a risk of interception and traffic manipulation. And some organizations might consider this area as a high-risk area. Our application will identify that your executive has landed in China. Okay? It will also take into account the type of data access that he has. And then we will mitigate this situation by alerting the user and forcing the VPN to be active once he landed in China, and to use secure communication with his colleagues. So no one will be able to intercept his calls. Another example, a malware that is installed on one of your employees' devices, and we cannot mitigate this situation on the device because there is no management capabilities installed on his device. Now, not only that he has a malware installed, he is now connecting to our company's Wi-Fi network. Now, regularly, if a user is connected to the Wi-Fi network, it's supposed to be a safe environment. Now, because he has a malware installed on his device, this actually means that this is the highest risk available for our organization, because the attacker is now basically lives in our network. He is already in our network, and he can send commands from this device to other devices that belong to other employees in the organization, and even to corporate servers and the database. We have a management console that allows the IT team to distribute predefined security policies, to send application and operating system updates, and to review all the alerts from each one of your employees in real time. We can also integrate our solution with an existing CM or SOC systems that are already installed in your organization. Thank you very much.
Any questions? People is a little bit tired.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, if you have questions, you can approach me right after this session. I'll be happy to answer and to demonstrate our solution. Thank you.
Thanks.